guys, it's Emily, and today is day 7, the last day of the reading rush. I'm so sad that this is my last video challenge for the reading rush, because I just had such a blast filming all of these challenges, and I've actually, for like the first time ever in all of the years, I've filmed all of the video challenges. I've done reading vlogs every single day, and I'm exhausted, but I had a blast doing it. So the challenge for today is to talk about a book recommendation that you received in the past and just talk about the story with that, which seems pretty simple and good for me since I don't think I could have done anything else that was like, oh. So the book I'm going to be talking about is The Selection series by Kiera Cass. This is the book that actually got me so into reading and has made me the reader I am today. This book recommendation came from my mom. I remember when we were in the car, and at that point in time I was still reading books that were under 100 pages or like very short books, and I didn't even really read that often, especially like compared to now. My younger self would be like, whoa, you read so much. And so when I was younger, I didn't really read a lot. A lot of people grew up reading. I read a bit, and there was a lot of books that I absolutely adored as a child, but reading wasn't really my thing. It sounded like a chore, and I never really wanted to do it. So at this point in time, the first 300-page book I'd actually finally read was The Storybook of Legends by Shannon Hale, and that is because I was obsessed with Ever After High in grade 6. So after I finished this, sometime around then, my mom was suggesting that we should start reading other books, and she was trying to get me more into the teen stuff, and I was kind of old enough for that genre now. So she was like, hey, I read this book, it's called The Selection series, and it's kind of similar to The Bachelor, but like Royals edition, and I'd never seen an episode of The Bachelor, but that concept has always intrigued me so much. I don't know why I loved it so much, but I just did, and I always wanted to read like a romance or like watch The Bachelor or something like that. So hearing that this story was like The Bachelor, I was sold, and at this point I wasn't even really obsessed with like royalty as much as I am now. I love royalty in stories, one of my favorite things ever. She suggested that we should read it together, and we did. So my mom bought the whole trilogy. When it was back then, it was a trilogy. It wasn't 5 books, but it was a trilogy. Me and my sister became absolutely obsessed with this series. I still am like somewhat obsessed with this series. It's definitely one of my favorite series of all time, and it holds such a special place in my heart just because it was the book that jump-started like all of this. Honestly, I probably wouldn't be here today making these videos on YouTube talking about books had it not been for the Selection series. So for that, I'm forever grateful that it's in my life and that I've read it, and I absolutely adore it. I remember being shocked by like so many things, and like a lot of people, like even if I read this now, probably I wouldn't be as shocked as many things that did happen in this book that I did when I was younger. I was 12, I believe, when I read this book. I was 12. Yeah, I was 12. And I was absolutely obsessed with the romance that I felt for America the whole time. I know everyone found her annoying. I found her annoying in book 2. I was so frustrated with her, I remember. And I was so invested. My mom read the whole book series to us, so we would sit on the couch every night while she read the whole thing to us, and I was so invested. And like I think I imagined myself as America, and I was like, I love this series. I was obsessed with this series for so long, and I love it so much, and it just makes me happy. Now I want to reread it again like I did on Monday. We're coming full circle. I gotta reread this soon. I just like, words cannot even really express how much I just adore this book so much. It's absolutely incredible, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, and I'm trying to tell more of the story of like, without me like talking about the book. I remember in the beginning when she was dating her boyfriend Aspen, this isn't really a spoiler, but she was dating her boyfriend Aspen, and I was like I loved Aspen. I remember in the beginning, towards the end of the book, I no longer really like him as much, but I like absolutely adored him in the beginning, and I was so upset when America had to leave her, like, for the selection, and like she went for that. I was so annoyed. I didn't even like Maxon in the beginning. I was like, this guy is gonna be like terrible, and she had to leave Aspen, and my heart was broken. Like I absolutely fell for Maxon even more, and so like Maxon was probably one of my first fictional, actually he is my first book fictional crush. He's my first book boyfriend. I loved him so much, and the one was was my favorite book in this series just because it all had a happily ever after, and it was just great and amazing, and I was obsessed with the series. I was so obsessed with this series because my mom recommended it to me, and like it's just something I would love, and if I read this today, I would still absolutely love this. Had this not even been the book that my mom recommended me, had it been something else, I'd probably still absolutely adore this series today. It probably wouldn't have that special place in my heart that it does now, but I would still love this series today. I talked about this book a lot during the readathon. Clearly, I love this story so much, and I'm so invested in it, and I really want to reread it because I miss this story, and I haven't reread it in so many years. I reread this series like 7 times, 8 times. I reread this book 8 times, 9 times. This book specifically I've read the most times, but I just adore the story. I adore the series. I could quote the first page for you. This is how addicted I am to the story. I am not looking at it. I will hold it up here, but I can quote the first page. Chapter 1. Oh yes, when we got the letter, my mom was ecstatic. She had already decided that our problems are solved, gone forever. The big hitch in her brilliant plan was me. I didn't particularly think I was a disobedient daughter, but this is where I drew the line. I didn't want to be royalty, and I didn't want to be a one. I didn't even want to try. I hid in my room, trying to come up with some ways that would persuade her, something like that. So far I had a collection of my honest opinions, but I didn't think there was a single one she would listen to. It was getting close to dinner time, and as the eldest child left in the house, cooking duties fell on me. I pushed myself out of bed and entered the snake pit. I think I got really close. And then the rest, I kind of remember, but I don't remember the rest of that. But I can quote the first page, and so can my sister. And I remember there wasn't a TV show or anything for this at the time, and there still isn't, and not a movie. I don't want it to be. If they make this book a movie or a TV show, they better do it right, because otherwise I will scream. I remember I saw bits and pieces of the pilot of what they actually made for this show, and I was so mad. It was so bad, so terrible. They made Maxon mean, the mean jerk that America thought he was, because hate to love romance is such a thing. But Maxon is a sweetheart, and I freaking love him, so I was pissed off. And America wasn't even a redhead, which that's an iconic part of her character, the fact that she's a redhead. And so I was so mad at this that I made a little selection series TV show with my dolls, and I was gonna upload it onto YouTube, and that never really happened. But I still have most of the episodes that I did make for the first book on my computer, so that's always fun to watch. I even adapted a bit of The Prince as well, but I was just this series needs to be done right. I went right by the book, taking lines from the book. I would go into my backyard when they were filming scenes when they were out in the yard, and I would look at the lines, and the lines are all written out, but I went from it word for word. Let's just say I was obsessed with the series, and if it hadn't been for my mom's recommendation, I honestly wouldn't have found BookTube, because I remember I looked up the series on YouTube, and that's when I found Christine's video where she talked about this book, and that's when I was so introduced to the BookTube community. At that point in time, I think I only watched Christine, and then I started watching all these other booktubers, and here I am today making my own BookTube video. So I love this book, and that is the reason I love this book, and I'm so glad my mom recommended it to me 6 years ago. Is it 6 years? Has it been 6 years already? It's been a while. How many years has it been? Oh my gosh, that's weird. I also read the Siren, which I absolutely love too, but I think at one point in time I liked the Siren better than I loved the Selection, but now I definitely love the Selection more. That is my opinion on that, and I love this book. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it that thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more of this lovely face. Thank you guys who have stuck with me and have watched all my videos this week, even if they were a mess and I didn't actually fail at this video. Congrats to me, I finally didn't fail, so thanks for watching my failure. And I don't know, I've seen comments, and comments I appreciate it, and I appreciate them. And my friend Jaden, she was sending me videos of her watching my videos, so thank you Jaden for watching all of my videos, and you're so invested. I appreciate it so much, and it means the world to me, so thank you. I will see you guys soon with my reading vlog, which should come up shortly. I don't know when. It's definitely not coming out today, but maybe tomorrow or Tuesday or sometime after that, but soon, hopefully my reading vlog will come out. So I will see you guys sometime soon with a new video. Goodbye!
Let go of everything.